Hello. Okay, so this is what we are going to talk about today. Check up and check in. So basically, we're at almost our 7 week point, so going on 8 weeks. So if you've onboarded with us in the past few weeks, we may have done the 4 week check. So now it's time to do our 8 week check. And we may have skipped it altogether because we do leave it optional. And then from here on out, more than likely, we're going to be checking things every 8 weeks or so, just not to frustrate you or us, so that we can see some significant changes. But that still means you need to stay on track with all of the things that we're doing. So let's just kind of review. Next week will be that check. So let's look over how do we measure progress at Tone Today? So you may or may not have done the 4 week check yet. And if you haven't, this is some things that we can do at this point is look at your increased plank. So that's a way we measure progress. So if your core is getting in better shape now, we can see that you can increase your plank time. Your form will look a lot better. Another thing that we're going to look at is your maximum lifts are increasing. So you're getting stronger at this point, which should be happening and is probably more than likely happening. So we're going to look at progressing forward means that you are lifting heavier and your form is better. So if you're, back squat, or if you have gone from maybe just a body weight squat and now we're adding some kettlebell weight in the front of 20 pounds, that shows us now that your maximum lift has increased. When you came in, you could only do a 30-second plank. Now we're up to 1.5, 1 minute plank. That's a huge increase in just a few weeks, which we would be amazed at, but that would show us that we can measure the progress. You can see that you're doing better. Same with that kettlebell. So if you've got a kettlebell in the front and you're doing a goblet squat, that's awesome, because that means that we've gone from body weight on up. If you've started out, maybe you onboarded and you were able to put the bar on your back and do a back squat, and you could use the bar, which is 45 pounds. Well, now we're up to 15 pounds on each side, or even more than that. So you kind of get it. That is what we're going to be looking at. The bench press is the same thing. So we want to see that increasing. So if you're doing dumbbell presses, you're doing more weight, your form's looking better. We are measuring your progress that way. So then we can program and continue to see you measuring progress. And we know you're gaining muscle, you're getting stronger. So that's a really good indication. Another thing that we look at is overall inches lost. So my theory, I have not been on the scale in quite a while, 3-4 years. And I started that after years of going on the scale because it was driving me crazy. My body composition was remaining the same. But you'll have those fluctuations in weight. So I don't think it's the best way to measure results, but sometimes it motivates us to continue with the plan. So then I love that we're doing that. But another great way to measure progress and to really look at it is to see, is your body composition changing? So we'll look at your body fat again. And we'll also look at inches lost. So that shows us if you have some inches lost, especially around the midsection and the hips. For women and guys, you're going to see especially around the waist. Then we know, okay, they are losing inches. We know that you're losing body fat, and that is the goal. So that is really good. And we can see that you're progressing that way. Another great indicator is just that you have more energy. The workouts aren't expending you like they used to. They're still challenging you, but maybe when you sat down in your first initial consult with me, we talked about how you were feeling, and you weren't having a lot of energy throughout the day. So just kind of taking in that inventory, like, how are you feeling? How are things going with the program? We'll ask you that. And that's a really good way for us to measure your progress, to know, okay, they're starting to feel better. The workouts aren't as hard as they used to be. And now they're starting to feel better overall. Throughout in life, at work, every day, just having just some more energy. This is a huge deal. But what's funny about human nature, if we don't measure some of these things, you will actually start to take for granted that you do feel better, which is good. It's normal. You should be feeling good and you can go about your life, and you can. But when you start to feel better, you forget about where you were and how you felt. So then we just like to measure that progress, like you're actually feeling better. Your clothes are fitting better. So this is a great one. We can tell right away. We could ask you that, I ask people that the first couple of weeks, how are your clothes fitting? Because that might be something you haven't thought about, but that measures a huge progress for us if your pant sizes are going down and you're fitting your clothes better. or you're able to get rid of some clothes and maybe go down a size. That's amazing. You visually look different in photos. So when you are progressing week to week, especially like for a competition or something, one of the main things that we do to track progress is take photos, because a lot of times you need to see it. Like, we need to see the muscle tone in your arm looking different. Maybe your glutes haven't decreased, they've increased, but we've gained muscle and we can see that. So that's a huge one. And we measure progress that way. So we look at the photos in comparison to the last time that you had photos. And that's how we inspire others too. So we'll share that on Facebook, just to say, wow, what an amazing job that you're doing. And we can visually see it. You look different in the photos. A lot of times when you're doing a bodybuilding competition, that's like the only thing you can see. You feel like, I'm working so hard each week, and I know each you feel that, and I don't feel like anything's happening because it's such a small increment, especially week to week. So the photos make a huge deal because it motivates you and it tells you, yes, you are progressing. So all the things that you're doing is working. So that's ways we measure progress. Let's look at like how we could speed up the progress. So if you're like, okay, I am nervous about getting my 8-week check or being checked again, I don't feel like anything's progressed. These are ways that you can get ready for that, give you a little bit of ammunition. I'm very competitive myself, and I like to, make sure I'm doing everything that I can to make the conditions as best as I can, right? And so the first thing you could do if you want to, really like see some good progress is speed it up is by doing more cardiovascular exercise outside your session. So, we talked about cardiovascular, that those HIIT workouts are essential. We have the classes. Maybe come to a couple extra classes one week. If you're a walker, absolutely go walking like a long time, go walking like an hour or 2 hours, or do an extra walk every day. Try to get some running involved in it. There's lots of ways to increase your cardiovascular. If you have a elliptical at home, and you're doing 30 minutes 3 times a week, well, do 20 extra 3 times, just add on 10 minutes or maybe an extra day. There's always time to get in that cardiovascular. You just don't see it yet, but just schedule it, do it, get it done. You'll be so happy. And I'm telling you, cardiovascular exercises is one of those things that it is action before motivation. So almost all the time when I do cardio, I do not feel like it. I'm tired, whatever else. I've had 5 pregnancies, had to go do my workouts, had nausea before, but I'm telling you, I never once have finished up a cardiovascular exercise routine where I'm like, I wish I hadn't done that. It's always the opposite. Like, wow, I can think again. I feel better. I'm ready to take on the world a little bit more here. Increasing water. So that is first and foremost. Like, when I check in with people, you think you're drinking a lot of water, but you're more than likely not. And so if you really want to speed up your progress, I'm serious about this. Get a big, huge water bottle or get a gallon jug, fill it with water. Make sure you're drinking minimum 1 gallon, gallon and a half a day. Slowly drink it throughout the day. Don't guzzle it all at night. That's not good. Make sure that you have enough magnesium, potassium in your diet to keep the electrolytes up. And go ahead and increase your water. So that's another way to speed up progress. And then limit your alcohol, okay? So if you are drinking on the weekend as a reward, or maybe you have a glass of wine each night, I want you to limit that. Don't drink at all. Just go a weekend or 2. Like, I'm on the 3-week effect. This really changed things for me. So I was kind of up and down a little bit with my weight and fat loss until I decided to not drink at all on the weekend for 3 weekends, and then 1 weekend I do partake. So however it looks for you, you definitely want to limit alcohol because it's a sugar and it's going to, heed your progress. You can speed it up by getting rid of it. It's a sugar. Same with fruit. Fruit is a sugar. So it's okay to have fruit. It's not like you can't have fruit, but stick to the lower sugar. Berries are number 1. I would say if you really want some fruit, have some berries. That's a great one. If you really want to speed up your progress, limit it. Limit it like a snack. Once a day, have some fruit. That's fine. No problem. That's going to speed up your progress. Log into MyFitnessPal. A lot of times we are completely, most of the time, unaware of what is actually happening. So we are great at checking MyFitnessPal. And so just go in, log in, get all your food going, and you'll be surprised. When you're accountable to the program, you're going to be better with your food. And don't lie about it. If you ate that chocolate, put it in there. If you had that piece of chocolate chip cookie, you put it in there. And you know why I'm saying it? Because a lot of our clients have had that. They don't put it in. And I personally, well, I'm not going to put that in there, but you know what? Be honest with yourself, because that is number one to speed up your progress. When you see it on paper, you're more aware of it. You're going to be accountable to that. And if you write down everything, every pick of food that you're doing, you'll get a great idea of what's truly happening. So this is not to scare you, but really to empower you. Here comes your next check. You want to make sure you're going to be as strong as you possibly can, that you're progressing like you want to. So all of these are tools to give you a better 8-week check. Okay, so get ready, set. You have about a week to go. Take care of yourself. Make sure that you're thinking positive thoughts, or if you're still dealing with some of those negative stories, continue to journal. Write those thoughts down each day about where you are in the stories and how you're, starting to become more aware of these things. And I'm telling you, things will start to fall in place. All right? Until next time.